Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today we're going to create a two-layered pattern like this in Adobe Illustrator. So I'm going to start with a new file, and because I want the file itself, the artboard, to be exactly the same size as the swatch is going to be, I'm going to choose something fairly small because we're working in vectors, so these are going to scale indefinitely large. So I'm using a document 250 by 250 pixels in size, RGB color mode. I'll click Create. So we're going to start by making our background, and we need to make sure that our background is going to be a seamless repeat within this area. So I'm going to start with the rectangle tool, and I'm going to make a rectangle that is the full width of this document. That's 250 pixels, and I want it to be the widest stripe, so that's going to be 40 pixels. The narrow one's going to be 10, and so I'm going to have a sort of repeat on my lines that is 50 pixels deep. So I'm just going to click OK. Now this has got a stroke which I didn't want, so I'm going to turn the stroke off. I'm going to make a second shape, so again back to the rectangle tool, click in the document. This time we're going to use 10 pixels as the height. I'll click OK, and we need a different color for it. So I'm going to Swatches panel, and let's choose a different color. At this point it doesn't really matter what colors you use because we're really just going for the background pattern. It's fairly critical that things are going to line up here, so I'm going to select over everything. I'm going to show the Align panel, so we're going to Window and Align. Now here what I want to do is align to key objects first of all, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on one of these two shapes, doesn't matter which, to make it the key object. And here we're going to distribute spacing. We want this to be 0 pixels, and we want to choose here on vertical distribute space. What this does is it jams these two pieces together with no space in between because we've said 0 space. So I'm just going to click once. And so now these two shapes are butted side by side. I want to line them up to the left, so I'm going to click here on Horizontal Align Left. I want them to line up to the top of the document, but if I do that right now, I'm going to send both of them to the top of the document. I don't want that to be the case. So I'm going to select over both of these. I'm going to choose Object and then Group. And now, because they're in a group, we can send them to the top of the document. So I want to duplicate this down the document, so I'm going to select on it. I'm going to Object, Transform, and then Move. Now just ignore what this dialog does because it usually just shoots things in all directions. So I'm going to zero out the horizontal and vertical to start off with so that we don't have heart failure over what just happened. What we want to do is move this, which is 50 pixels tall, down to here. So we want to move it in a vertical direction, 50 pixels. So as soon as I do that and tab away, you can see that it's moved into the correct position. Now all we need to do is say, well, we want this one, but the original as well. So we'll click on Copy. Now we can go and just repeat that, and we're going to hold down the Control key and tap the letter D 3 times, and that just fills the document with this shape. And this is going to be the base stripe for our pattern. So I'm going to Layers panel here. What I can do at this stage is to just lock this down so that it won't move. But I will need to add a new layer, so I'm going to the bottom of the Layers panel. Let's just make sure you can see it here. And I'm going to click the plus sign. So we're working on a new layer. When you're doing something like this, it's probably a good idea to lock the base layer because you don't want it to move while you're working on your flowers. Now the flowers we're going to create using the ellipse tool, so I'm just going to select the ellipse tool. I will change the color here. I do want to be working just with a fill and no stroke at this point. I'm going to hold the Shift key and drag out a circle for my flower. I'm going to Effect and then Distort and Transform, and going to Pucker and Bloat. What I want to do here is turn preview on, and I just want to drag on the bloat until I get a portion of a flower. Now I want it to be fairly skinny in the middle. That's a really good shape for me. It's got 4 petals, that's just fine. I'll click OK. Now right now in the Appearance panel, if we look at this, what we've got is a circle shape with a pucker and bloat filter on it. So we want to bake this in if you like. So we'll go to Object and then Expand Appearance. And now we have a shape that is this shape. There's no pucker and bloat filter left on it. Let me just move that out of the way because I'm going to need that in a minute. So I've got this shape here. What I want to do is make another one of them. So I'm going back to my Object, Transform, and this time I want to rotate, and I want to rotate it around 45 degrees. So when I do that, you can see it's gone from an angle to upright. But again, I want the original and my copy, so I'm just going to click here on copy. So now I've got a layered flower. I'm going to choose a different color for the second one of these petals at this stage. At this point, if we want to put a middle into our flower, we can do so. I'm just going to drag out a small circle here. Again, I'm holding the shift key as I do that so that I am going to make a perfect circle. And let's just go and put this in the middle of everything. Well, right now what the middle of everything looks like is a little bit tricky. So let's just select over all of these objects. Again, this is another reason why locking that background is a really good idea, because we can just focus on the flowers. I'm going to the Align panel. I've got mine here, but of course we could get to it by choosing Window and Align. I'm going to Align to Selection, so I'm going to click this option, and I want to center these. So I'm going to choose Horizontal Align Center and Vertical Align Center, and that puts the circle right in the middle of my flower. I'm also going to select over everything here because I've got it nicely lined up, and I'm going to choose Object Group. So that's really helpful because now it's going to travel as a group. So I'm just going to make it about the size I want it to be. Now I want this to have a white line around it. So what we could do is add a stroke. I've got my shape selected. I'm going over here to the Appearance panel. I'm going to click the stroke option, and that adds a stroke. Now I can change the color by just clicking on this. Just ignore what's happening on my screen. I've got some minor problems which I think I can get rid of later on, but let's just go for a color right now. And I'm going to increase the stroke. Now, if you have a look here, you'll see that the problem is that the stroke is going over the top of the shape and not underneath it. So what I'm going to do is reselect the shape, and I'm going to drag this stroke option in the Appearance panel to behind the contents, underneath the contents. And now you'll see that the stroke is behind everything. And at this point you can determine whether it's enough or not enough. And so you could come in here and increase or decrease your stroke amount. I'm going to add quite a bit of a stroke, and I do want to go for something lighter. So at this point, let's go for a sort of white color. I need 2 of these flowers going into making my pattern, so I'm going to hold down the Alt key as I drag a second flower away. At this stage, if I want to change the color of this flower, and that might be useful because I can always put them back together again in the pattern, but it's impossible to separate them once they're inside a pattern without making the pattern again. Let's go to Recolor Artwork for this particular flower, and let's just change the artwork color. So I'm going to Advanced Options, and let's go into Edit, and the colors are locked at this point, so I can just drag around to create a slightly different colorway for this particular flower. I'll click OK. Now we've got everything that we need to make our pattern, but before we do make our pattern, it will help us if we put this particular flower in the middle of everything. So I'm going to select on the shape, I'm going to the Transform tool, I'm going to make sure that the center of these 9 boxes is selected as our reference point, and so the X value here is going to be 125, which is halfway across our document, and then the Y value is going to be 125 because that's halfway down the document. And now that flower is dead in the middle of my document. That's just really helpful. Before we make our pattern, we have to select everything that is part of the pattern. So we're going to do Select All, or you could press Control or Command A. I'll choose Object, Pattern, Make. Click OK. I'm going to zoom out, so I'm clicking on the zoom tool and just zooming out so I can see everything. The middle flower here is in the exact correct position, but this one's not. I'm going to move it so that it's over the corner of the shape. So you can see it's centered over the corner of the shape, but you can also see that it is missing. So what we need to do in the Pattern Options dialog is we need to change the overlap. So I'm going to click on these options to change the overlap so I can see my flower. I'll just click away. I'm going to turn off my tile edge. This black thing here that we're seeing is the artboard. If you want to hide it, you can choose View and then Hide Artboard. So that makes it easier to see what your pattern's like. You can also increase the number of copies that you're viewing on the screen. That's not going to affect your pattern at all. Now there are only 2 flowers that are actually selectable here. If I just drag over my design, I can see that this is the flower and this is the flower that is selectable. So while I'm here, what I may want to do is to rotate this flower. Now we created it by rotating one shape 45 degrees, so we need to go sort of half of that to create some sort of rotation. So I'm going to choose Object, Transform, Rotate, and I'm going to rotate it this time 22.5 degrees. And this time I'm just going to click OK. And that's rotated this flower around so it's no longer upright. So one of them is upright, the other one is in a different direction. Now we could do the same for this flower if we wanted to, or we can leave it as it is. The pattern swatch 250 by 250, that's exactly as it should be. That's the way we designed it. So I'm just going to click Done because we're done with this pattern. So these are the elements that went to make up the pattern. I'm going to select the rectangle tool. Let's drag out a rectangle and let's go and add our pattern to the rectangle. So I'm going to the swatches library and here is my new pattern. Now I can scale that by choosing Object, Transform, Scale. I want to transform only the pattern, not the object itself, and I'm going to bring it down to, I think, maybe about 75% of its original size. I'll click OK. And we can change the color of the pattern. So what I'm going to do is go to the Recolor Artwork dialog. I'll go to Advanced Options. Now before I go any further, I'd like a pattern that has grays in the background. So it's these two colors, the first two colors that I want to change. I'm going to make this color a gray and I'm going to make the other color a white. So that's one iteration of the pattern that I want. Now because I've got what I want at this stage, I'm just going to click OK. I've now got two patterns. I've got the original and my duplicate. And at this stage, if I want to go ahead and recolor this, I can do so, or I can go back and recolor the original. And if I do that, I'm going to just make another colored version of it. So I'm going into the edit options. My harmony colors are linked, so I can just rotate this around to get a different colorway. I can also drag any of these colors in or out. And if I want to change a specific color, I'm going to unlink the harmony colors, and then it gives me the ability to change the colors individually. When you're happy with what you've got, click OK, and that will give you another colorway. And of course you can continue to change these patterns as often as you like. Creating a pattern like this, it's really important that you do the mathematics of the background before you start. The flowers are fairly easy to position once you've got your actual base pattern selected, but you will need an area that is the swatch size that has a repeat in it to be successful in layering these two patterns together. If you like carefully researched content like this, clearly presented in a step-by-step format so that you can get great results, then you'll love my Skillshare content. I'm a Skillshare top teacher. I have hundreds of short courses on Skillshare that you can access along with thousands of other great courses, all for the price of a single subscription. If you're interested, there's a Skillshare coupon for you in the description below to use to sign up. Using this coupon benefits me as a creator, and it helps me continue to make free content available here for you also on YouTube. Thank you for joining me for this video tutorial. On the screen now, you'll see a video that I've hand-picked for you. If you enjoyed the video you've just watched, I know that you're going to really enjoy the one I've picked for you to watch next.